Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So early on in my bismuth art career, one day one of my fans had wanted to buy one of the Buddha statues, but he actually liked it as a metal color. He didn't need it to be anodized, and asked me if there was some cheaper material I could make it out of besides bismuth. And it was early on in my career. I hadn't figured out all the other metals yet, and I discovered bismuth was actually one of the cheaper metals that was suitable for that project. I mean, certainly you could use lead if you didn't mind the toxicity, but other than that, tin is considerably more expensive. Tin's the other metal that I could think of, right? But it was considerably more expensive than bismuth, and then everything else has too high a melting point for the silicone mold that I was pouring, right? If it were a graphite mold, maybe I could think about either zinc or aluminum, but it was a silicone mold. And so it was really only between bismuth and tin, and maybe an alloy of the two, right? And so we ended up making it out of bismuth anyway. And as I was doing that, it made me reflect on my own life. I feel like a piece of bismuth in a sea of tin around my social circle, right? So bismuth obviously has a lot more uses than tin, and it is obviously many, many times rarer, right? I think at least 10, 20 times rarer. But for some reason, our current society, Peter dislikes it for some reason, right? Who knows why, right? It could be a lot of bismuth comes from China. It could be all the trade war tensions and all that. Kind of interesting. I buy my bismuth from a wholesaler in China, and he was explaining to me how if he ships less than 800, they don't have to pay the tariffs or something like that. Because I was asking about combining shipping. I don't know how much that tariff would be. So I learned that if you buy less than 800, but Donald Trump might change that. So that's why I've been busy buying $800 at a time online. But a lot of times at my workplace, when I talk about prejudice, a lot of times it's very indirect, right? When I want to take a day off for whatever I want to do, people color it as laziness and nonsense. Why are you going out stargazing when there's stuff to be done? Meanwhile, my colleagues can take their kids to Disney World. They can just stay home with their kids when they don't have a school to go to. Oh, that's perfectly fine, right? And it's just a different brush, just our social norms at the moment. So it just goes to show how much of a dislike I am. And that's why I like to call myself Peter Dislike. When I die, I want my tombstone to be shaped in a dislike and to be made of whatever metal was very heavily disliked at the moment, right? So if I were to die today, that tombstone would be made of bismuth. But 100 years from now, believe it or not, I think 100 years from now, the only inexpensive metal we will have is gold. Everything else is being consumed at a record-breaking rate, right? If you go to usdebtclock.com, they show all the metals being consumed, racing down to zero, right? Bismuth's probably racing even faster. They don't have it on their website.